Do you wish that you could possess a knife that is banned in many countries around the world because it is so powerful? I suppose it's single-handedly powerful enough to overthrow governments, take out NATO death squads, etc., etc. Otherwise, I'm not sure why they'd be so afraid of it. The knife, of course, is a gravity knife. Now, not necessarily this particular gravity knife, just gravity knives in general. This may or may not fall into that classification because it is technically a razor blade. Now, sometimes those are treated differently, sometimes not. Anyway, this is much cheaper than any other gravity knife up to this point. Typically the entry point to get into gravity knives was about $300. This comes in around 70 to 80 US dollars. Now, is this illegal wherever you are? I have no idea. I have no idea where you live. Should you buy one of these if it's illegal? I mean, if everybody's so afraid of it, I think you can probably just tell them that you have one, and then they'll be afraid of you. So if the cops come after you, just be like, hey, I got a gravity knife, you better leave me alone, and I think they're going to do that.
Put the knife down!
On second thought, maybe you shouldn't do that, but if you do, please let me know how it goes, because I want to know. For science. So why would you want one of these? Well, because they're awesome, obviously. Let's get into what a gravity knife is. It's a very simple mechanism that allows basically a sled that allows the blade to slide back and forth using nothing but gravity. It's in there a little bit loosely. I would say the blade play is fairly similar to something you would get on like an OTF. So as for the price point, I mean, it's either really expensive compared to, for example, a $5 to $10 razor blade like this that I have used for an unbelievable amount of hours. It's cut so much stuff. But $5 to $10 versus 70 to 80. So in that context, this is fairly expensive. However, in the context of fidgets in the EDC space, you're typically spending a minimum of $100 for something that is just a fidget. This is a fidget with a very practical application. Now, another razor blade in this kind of price range would be the TPT slide from Big Idea Design. I love the TPT slide. I have one. It's also in that $70 range. The use case that has above and beyond being a razor blade is that it can be a camera tool or flathead screwdriver. The use case this has is a little less practical, obviously, being a fidget. And if you're out in public or something like that, you probably shouldn't be fidgeting with this in the line at Walmart. Of course, those are self-checkouts now. Anyway, point is, it's a fantastic fidget, very fun. I mean, super addictive. It annoys the heck out of my wife, and it's useful. And as far as how fast it is to deploy and use, like in a practical application, I mean, it's great. But compared to something like this little Gerber, which, granted, is much smaller. So this Gerber is about the smallest I've found any razor blade. I think these are like $10. So it's one of the smallest packages you can get, and it's not very comfortable. However, it does get you a razor blade in your fifth pocket or something like that quite easily, and for $5 or $10. Not fidgety at all. It's not fun to open or close. This, on the other hand, if I can do it, is tons of fun. The clip is deep pocket, so you can really drop that into your pocket, disappears. It's a little bit long for a fifth pocket. It sticks up on mine just slightly. I don't know, if you have a huge fifth pocket, maybe this will work. One thing I want to point out, just because you might care, is with the blade removal, you push down on this piece and it kind of pops out this little spring, if you will. This spring tends to go flying, so be very careful when swapping blades. However, if you are worried about this being illegal or transporting it, I'm pretty sure that if this does qualify as a gravity knife, if you take the blade out, this is no longer a gravity knife. So to make it unillegal, just take the blade out and then put it back in when nobody's looking. I guess that's not legal advice, but I'm pretty sure lawyers would approve. that thing can be a little bit of a pain to get in and out. Sorry, I'm just going to sit here and just, you know how long I sat here just fidgeting with this thing before I started filming? Not even sure if you can understand anything I'm saying over it. In summary, I mean, it's inexpensive in the EDC world. It's a lot of fun, super fidgety, super useful, pretty practical as far as a razor blade goes, with a lot of fun factor. So I would 100% recommend it if you want to get one. Not sponsored, but if you head on over to American Edge Knives, I know that they've had them in stock longer than everybody else. They do tend to sell out quite quickly. And if they do happen to be sold out right now, I know that there's more coming on the way. So if you want to pick some of these up, go check out American Edge Knives. I'll drop a link in the description because 100% worth having. I love it. There's also, I should note, a couple different colors. Green, yellow, orange, blue, just a regular gray, which I'm pretty sure this is aluminum, so it's not going to be like a tie, especially for that price. But anyway, you got a couple different colors, and then you have speed holes or kind of this diamond pattern. So anyway, that's my quick and short review. Really not a lot to gripe about, especially considering the price. So that is the Reate gravity knife, razor blade edition, because they do have a regular gravity knife. And yeah, go check them out.